So, hi, my name is Ricky Song. Today I'm presenting SmartLegalPredictor. I had this idea over the weekend on Sunday. I got the inspiration from my mom, who is one of the top IP lawyers in China. So let's dive into it. So SmartLegalPredictor is an AI decision support and strategy sandbox for commercial litigation. So you can think of this product as a pre-trial war room, but 10 times more powerful. So right now, the problem is that law professional and litigation strategy heavily depends on experience or instinct. There's no tool, no sources to reference to. Attorneys, they lack a robust decision support in litigation settings, and there's no way to quantify trade-off between strategies. I know there are several existing legal AI tools out there, but they're merely like a chat box with no backend database that you can onboard with to unload your personal information, your case information. So we come up with agent-native, simulation-driven trial prep for complex commercial litigation attorney, practicing in federal circuit courts and Supreme Courts. So what we built in the last 30 hours, somebody may have already seen in our repo. We built an agent-based modeling plus simulation engine that models plaintiff and defendants, counsel, experts, and judges based on publicly available information. That is open API. There are a ton of open API out there. But we are also able to build a full-fledged simulation today. We're trying to spin up that instance just outside, but we failed to do so. But I can show the yesterday's version, simpler version, with 3 or 5 agents. So technology, we use GraphRAG for retrieval. So we come up with a schema that will parse the legal cases based on the inputs. That is the past cases for the lawyer, for the judge, and for similar cases. We parse them based on the issue, fact, the law uses into the GraphRAG database, combined with Weaviate vector base. So there's a nice pipeline from inputs. So customer will first upload a PDF or onboard with an interactive chat box. And then our backend will parse the inputs and put them into our graph database and the vector-based DB. And then we have this nice constructed graph. So we can do query, agentic operation on it. So our simulation, the version I'm going to show you has 3 to 5 agents that can query from the GraphRAG as well as the vector DB. We can do opponent persona. You can propose your strategy to the chat box, and you can simulate how the opponent will respond. We have the full-fledged strategy doc generation function. You can generate over 10-page strategy for your strategy using our simulation framework. And yeah, that's basically our architecture. Jump to the demo. For the time-wise, I pre-run this simulation workflow, so we can have this right now. So the case is Doe versus Social Hub. So Doe is claiming that Social Hub is not removing harmful messages on its platform. By the way, Social Hub is like a social media platform. So this section is what user will upload to our simulation engine. And then when we have debate, the prosecutor or defendant will first have their opinion, citing precedents or law from our GraphRAG database. And then Defender. It goes on and on for 2 rounds. That is customizable. We were able to build this with 5 hours yesterday with only 3 agents. We also have a full-fledged version right now. We're able to see the version that supports up to like 500 or 1,000 agents. That supports more complex simulation workflow. The input is the same. We can see a nice, well-constructed workflow. We can see the details. That's the prompt, the input for each agent. We will generate agentic workflow based on the input. And
give it up.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got 3 questions.
Yeah.
Have you shown it to your mom? What does she think of this? The actual response?
I haven't. Actually, no. I just came up with this idea like 48 hours ago. I haven't had the chance to pitch it to my mom, but I'm sure she will love to see it. Yeah. Any other questions?
So you said it took a long time. So what's sort of the longest time? Like, is it sort of some of those workflows? I couldn't really see the details of that. But can you talk briefly about what those workflow steps were and how
Workflow?
long it took?
Do you refer to the simpler version or the full-fledged version here?
Sort of the ideal version. Like, what are some of those main buckets that you had to do?
So we just like assign tasks to role-based agents. As you can see here, like that's the lawyer A for plaintiff, or like the defendant, lawyer B. So it's basically like a round base. We assign role, we create role first, and then we assign tasks to it with context, and each agent will have access to our GraphRAG as knowledge source, and they will perform like multi-round debates based on this model. So the execution of this model will take up to 20 minutes. For the simpler version, it's going to take around 2 minutes. Any other questions? Here.
We have time here. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Everyone give it up for Ricky.
Yeah.
Sylvie, come on up.